Good morning and welcome to another edition of our Four Questions Journalist Spotlight. Today we are talking with Rick Limpert, and Rick has got as always, a number of irons in the fire. So we're going to talk about a couple of things that he's got going on, and the kinds of things that he's working on, and who he writes for, and the kind of projects he likes to do. But first, good morning, Rick.
Hey, good morning, Mitch. I know we've known each other for years, so this is not only hopefully informative, but this will be fun as well.
Yeah. No, I like doing this because it's a lot more interactive, and I feel like I get to know people a lot more this way than just emailing them, or even talking on the phone. So I've enjoyed doing it this way, and I hope I think you'll like it too. So you are live from Orlando today, or taped from Orlando, as this will run in a week or so.
Yeah, I
But
mean, Orlando, like so many places, they depend on tourism, and they've been hurt here the last 6 months, and they're trying to get the word out. And I think in Florida, things have actually improved a little bit here from what I've seen and the information I've given. So Orlando is like so many places trying to get back on the map for tourism, for business, and a lot of things.
that's great. That's great. Well, let's start with you, since this is about you.
Yeah.
Uh, yeah, tell me about who's Rick, and tell me a little bit about what's your background, and how did you get to kind of the work you're doing today?
Yeah, it's like for a lot of people, it's a long and winding road. So I'm not from Atlanta originally, but I've been here 30 years now, which is amazing. And grew up in Wisconsin and went to college in Iowa. And my background is in business and in technology mainly, but a love of sports. And I'm really one of those guys that's kind of combined a couple things that I really enjoy, and have made a career out of it in tech and sports and business. So it's you look back on it, all the little stops and starts along the way, and it's kind of amazing. But here we are, and Atlanta has been a great place to be. And as you know, the Atlanta business community and tech community is really tight knit, and happy to be a part of that.
So would it be safe to say that your focus is on sports and technology, with a kind of a business aspect to that? Is that kind of the focus area?
Well, yeah, I mean, everyone has. If you're running your own company, everyone's got to be a little business savvy, as you know. And I started out as a sports tech writer, or a sports writer, and kind of developed that niche. And other things have come out of it as far as helping run sports events or tech events, and TV and radio. And I was happy just sitting in my office doing product reviews and writing about the latest tech, and things kind of just grew out of that. People found a value in that, and really, I think my talent really is taking something that's really techy, and I hate to use the word dumbing it down, but making it understandable to the masses, to a lot of people. That's really been the trick as technology is grown so much, and things change on a daily basis.
Yeah, and as I tell people, there's a lot of technology out there, but if you can't explain it to a potential customer in a way that they can understand in 15 seconds, then they're never gonna buy it.
No.
For every coder and product developer, you gotta have a marketing and salesperson that can take what you're doing, and I know the phrase "dumb it down," but it's really making it understandable to your target audience.
Yeah, and I use my 75-year-old father as a gauge. A lot of times, he has an iPhone, and he's struggling picking up all the latest technology and apps. And I figure if it's something I can explain, or how I would explain it to him, is really relevant to a lot of people. And he texts more than a teenage girl, so evidently I've done something right. So.
That's great. So talk us through. I know you write for a couple of different media outlets, and your work appears in a number of different places. But talk us through, all or some of the places where your work's going to appear, where people can see it.
if I can do it all, but really my first breaks were with Yahoo Sports, and that was over 10 years ago, maybe 12 years ago, when they were really looking for content to grow their platform. And I just I wouldn't call it lucked into it, but happened into it. And that really helped me get noticed and Yahoo's the biggest sports platform in the world. So by other publications, big and small, Sports Illustrated is pretty big, and Cox Media with the AJC, and that exposure has been great. And then NBA.com and like NFL.com, when they pick up something or they have something of yours, that's really. I can write things for the AJC all day, but when you're on the front page of NBA.com for a full day, people that you went to high school with or people you went to college with really see that this is the same guy they were in school with. So it's about, like anything, it's about exposure and keeping your name out there, and then that leads to more and more opportunity.
So let's see. So you were doing a regular series on CBS 46 for a while. Is that still happening too?
Now, not with the pandemic going on, so okay. No one can come in the studio, but hopefully that'll resume right after that. But I've been doing some Zoom calls for some TV. I do a weekly syndicated radio segment for iHeartRadio that airs on the weekend around the world, and TV for various stations it's been, and then guesting on radio if somebody finds something relative, and internet TV has really picked up, and some of those shows have a decent following. So if I'm available, I'm happy to put myself out there, and they can bring me on, and they can beat me up, or they can agree with what I say. And as you know me, I always have fun with it, and try to keep it relevant and family friendly.
Well, and Georgia followers, you write for a lot. That is a huge following. I mean, what's the engagement on that one? I mean, I see tens of thousands sometimes.
Yeah, well, they have the Twitter account has over 1 million followers. So that's been really big, and they get controversial sometimes. I'm probably the least controversial writer on there. Sports and things, but they like to stir it up a little bit. That's all good for engagement and for eyeballs hitting the site, and that site is, mainly run by some college kids, and it's been that site is constantly amazing me. It's the followership and the engagement, and mainstream news outlets pick up things that are on that site. So it goes both ways.
So what are give me some examples of some of the things you've written about? I know you write so much, but let's say in the last couple of weeks, what are some stories that have kind of stood out for you? It's like, okay, that was a cool story that I got to work on.
Anything the last 6 months as far as people working at home has been huge. Just the whole influx of people in sports that usually went to an office or a stadium to work. These people have been stuck at home for the most part. So that's been something. Unique partnerships in sports between tech companies and sports is always of interest to me. Today I had something up on, I own the Wireless Wednesday.live site, and I use that for usually daily updates on things in sports and tech. And Best Buy and the NFL have just announced a big partnership covering that on there today. And just reviews of fun gadgets. Portable hand sanitizers now you can carry with you. It's really getting face masks that have a cooling feature in it, which yesterday here in Orlando I wish I would have had one of those, because it was brutal down here. But I like different things. Everybody can cover an iPhone launch or a new phone coming out, but digging deeper or finding something more unique than that is something that really interests me.
Okay. So I know you said you're in Orlando today. Talk to us about what you're working on down there, if you can.
Just a couple travel pieces on how the hotels are taking safety measures, including where I'm staying. They had lots of hand sanitizer, little packaged hand sanitizers in the room. The TV remote was covered up by like a little baggie type thing. They're allowing a day. Supposedly, some of the places are allowing a day with nobody in the rooms in between stays to allow the room to be completely sanitized.
Oh, I'm sorry, I lost your audio. Lost your audio for a second there, Rick.
Sorry about that.
Yep, there you go.
Just how the rooms are being sanitized, and the hotel chains or hotel companies are taking extra measures to make sure things are clean and safe. And so they're taking me around, showing me some of that. How the theme parks are taking extra measures. It's just all about making people feel safe about traveling again, and maybe taking a few days away. Orlando and cities like Las Vegas and New York are really trying to get the word out.
Are you doing the big Disney theme parks while you're there too?
Yeah, we were at SeaWorld yesterday.
Okay.
And just if you know the SeaWorld company, Anheuser-Busch owned the SeaWorld park.
Right, that's right.
Very clean. I was just amazed by how clean the things were. If you sat down somewhere, there was a person cleaning off where you were sitting as soon as you left before the next person sat down. And even how they exit the theme parks and the shows, keeping social distancing. They put a lot of thought into this and prep into this. And I definitely felt safe about being at a theme park with thousands of people yesterday. And I don't want to get on an airplane right now. So I'm kind of leery about things. And I felt safe and content yesterday. So that was good.
You know, it's funny. I feel comfortable being on an airplane. I'm not as comfortable getting through the airport to get to the airplane.
Yeah. Yeah, that's.
I'm not sure if that's accurate or not. I guess the airlines have done a better job about making me feel safer when I'm on the plane than the airports have done about getting me to the plane. If that makes sense.
Yeah, you can clean an airplane off when there's nobody on there. How can you clean a terminal when there's constantly people in the terminal? I mean,
yeah.
Or going through a TSA line. That's the trick.
Yeah, you gotta. Everyone constantly walking with their hand on that on that band on the rail, right?
Yeah, no thanks. No
so,
thanks.
So anything in particular? I know. So you got Orlando this week. Any other major projects coming up in the next couple of weeks?
Just kind of watching NFL football to see. That's really the big sport story in the next few weeks. Is college football and NFL football. Are they going to be able to play? Football is such a driving force in sports as far as economics and many other technology, many other factors. It's really. I don't know how they're going to do it, but I'm watching closely on how if NFL football is going to be able to play. That's going to set the tone for a lot of things for the rest of the year and early next year.
Yeah, I mean, I guess they're watching from the examples that the NBA and Major League Baseball have set in terms of what's working and what's not working. So it's an opportunity for them to see the mistakes and hopefully learn from them, right?
It is, but it's a totally different animal. Tackle football is not baseball, and there's no bubble going to be in football. You have so many players as far as testing and things that could go wrong. No fans, of course, at the stadiums is going to be a given. But as far as can we keep these players safe, and these guys are huge, strong men. But that doesn't make a difference, evidently, with this disease. So it's definitely wait and see and watch and see.
What do you think about the the little practice of piping in crowd noise?
Yeah, I don't know how I feel about that. It's definitely a different experience watching these on television with, a Braves game with no fans, and it's different. I think for the TV viewers, if you kind of subtly have some background or some ambient noise, that's not a bad thing. The U.S. Open tennis is going to be doing this in conjunction with IBM.
Your audio went out again for a second. There you go.
Yeah, U.S. Open tennis, keep an eye on. They're going to be piping in actual noise from previous tennis matches. So they're taking it even a step further. It's not just generic noise. They've done research over the last 5 years, and they know when Novak Djokovic hits a winner, they know what kind of crowd reaction that gets, and that's the noise that supposedly they're going to pipe in.
Hopefully it'll be the right reaction, right? Instead of ooh.
In tennis, you got to be careful. So,
well, it's funny. I mean, I'm sure I know you've seen plenty of minor league baseball games, and the noise level of those games is certainly a lot more subdued than at a stadium with 80,000 people in there. So, it's a different feel. But if you've been to minor league games, you kind of have a feel for what it sounds like. All right, absolutely. So some fun questions. So, if I asked you what is the coolest thing about Rick? What's something kind of fun and cool about Rick that people might not know about?
Oh, geez, I'm actually pretty boring. But what's cool about me is people think I have a really cool job.
There you go.
And it's work. They think, oh, you're off on another. One of my friends calls it a boondoggle. Now I don't know exactly what that means, but that doesn't sound like there's a lot of work involved. And usually when I'm away, I try to find something to do fun or local if I can, no matter where I am. But there's days where it's 8 a.m. until midnight. You're occupied or work. So the perception that I'm not complaining at all. What I do is actually pretty cool and pretty fun. But the way people think of it's probably even more cool than it really is.
Well, people think of a paid travel writer who gets paid to go to some luxury resort and sits around the pool drinking drinks and relaxing all day, and it's usually not quite that. Let's see. Okay, so what's the last book that you read that you want to admit to? Because sometimes people have reading habits like, I don't want to tell people I read that kind of stuff.
Yeah, I get to. I have time to read sometimes when I'm on the road or at home. It's kind of downtime. Usually, what I'm reading is sports related, but I kind of read this one book recently. It's called Courageous Cultures. It's about team building in business and team building in life, and really how you get through life. You don't do it by yourself. There is, whether it's family or friends, there is kind of a team or team support around you. And the book just really enforced for business how, as you know, things are a lot easier when you have a good team around you. And that book just kind of really reinforced it. And it was a good fun read that I learned some things, but also reinforced some things that maybe I already knew that you had forgotten. And especially during a pandemic here, we're all maybe doing different roles, or what we're doing has changed a little bit. So it's good having someone around you that helps.
All right, favorite non-work hobby.
I've mentioned this when we did the written one. So I love kind of like American Pickers. I love finding old sports memorabilia in various places. So and I collect and I buy and resell things sometimes. But for me, it's the thrill of the hunt. I love, once I get the things, it's cool, I have it. And some things mean more to me than others. People give me things that are personal mean things. But I love uncovering something that was kind of hidden or people didn't know they had. And really, if you watch American Pickers, which is one of my favorite shows, one of their goals or one of their mission statements is finding something and putting it back where it belongs. And I'm a firm believer in that. I think that if you can find someone that really wants something, or a museum or something where a particular item would be desired, and you actually get it back to where it should be, that makes me feel good.
That's cool. Okay, favorite Atlanta restaurant that you hope to go back to one day when restaurants are back to normal?
These two restaurants are back to normal. I love Starbucks for one thing. That was my guilty.
Oh, I'm sorry, Rick. I lost the audio again there. So, favorite Atlanta restaurant?
Yeah, these two are actually open. Henry's Louisiana Grill in downtown Ackworth, which is great Louisiana food. He's a trained chef, but he's a nut, and the food is really good. And the Freakin' Incan Peruvian restaurant in Roswell. He had one in Tucker for a while, but just the one in Roswell now. And it's really fresh food. It's really good. The chef is a tennis player, so I know him from that. And I love that place. And I know you asked me the guilty pleasure the last time. Starbucks, like for so many people, is a guilty pleasure for me.
Okay.
So,
all right. So you got to my next question. So, all right. So the last question is, what's your, when you want to get away from it all, what's a good place you like to go to unwind and relax a little bit?
In Georgia or anywhere?
No, let's say in Georgia.
I like playing golf a little bit. So Reynolds Plantation, Reynolds Lake Oconee out there east of Atlanta is nice. I don't know if you've ever been down to Okmulgee, Little Okmulgee. There's a state park there with a really nice golf course. That's very relaxing. And in Georgia, there's a lot of places you can go that are just really relaxing. You just get out of Atlanta a lot of times, and it's just a different culture, a different feel. The people are real nice. Even in the mountains, Blue Ridge has become a kind of a really popular place. But you can still go there and relax. So I like anywhere where there's decent food and a Starbucks and
and a chance to find some sports memorabilia.
Yeah,
so
like that.
So is there you started saying favorite getaway outside Georgia. If I expanded the field of questions to outside Georgia, what's your is there a favorite place? Oh, and I've lost your audio again.
I like the Rocky Mountains.
Rocky Mountains.
Yeah, Montana is my favorite state. So I don't know if you've been before, but you have little college towns like Bozeman and Missoula, and then they all have kind of a trendy little downtown, and Montana's just very relaxed. The people are really nice. Real estate's gone up there because a lot of people from California stopped going to Colorado and started going to Montana. But it's a huge state. You can get lost there, and it's beautiful.
Excellent. We've been talking with Rick Limpert. Rick, I appreciate taking some time, getting to chat with you this morning, and keep us in the loop as you get new projects, new things. We'd love to come back to you, circle back, and talk a little bit more on the 4 Questions Journalist Spotlight.
I always do, and Mitch, thanks for what you do in highlighting people that have a passion for journalism, for reporting, for public relations. What you do is invaluable, and appreciate all your hard work.
Thank you, Rick. I appreciate that.